All right. I am so ready to rock and roll right now. Like, it's not even funny how ready I am to rock and roll. I'm ready. Except, okay, here we go. Boom, boom, this, and this, right? Okay. Hey, I'm excited. All right, so I figured out YouTube. Oh God, but I forgot to link the thing. Sorry, lovelies, I apologize. I gotta get this thing shared on the actual live stream page on my website because I actually have it and I really need to do it right. Okay, so give me just 30 seconds while hey, Love Her Productions. Hey, I'm excited. I'm really excited. But now, how do I do it? Okay, so I should come over here. But look, I can multitask. I so cannot multitask. This is the problem. I can't multitask. Right. Go to YouTube Studio. Boom, boom. Videos. Live. This one. View on YouTube. Boom. There it is. All right. Excellent. And then share. All I need is the link, the embed link, and then I am so ready. Copy. Okay. So, hey, friends. I am here to talk to you today about the sun in Pisces. Today is the first day that the sun is actually in Pisces. So it's been in Aquarius for the last 30 days, and now it's all up in Pisces. So Aquarius, well, okay, so wait, before I start getting into this, because I know I'm going to get all off track, before I start talking about the Aquarius and where the sun is, I really want to tell you all about the sun and moon report that I just created. Now, if you are in my Jailbreak Your Heart program, this is going to be uploaded to the program. You don't have to do anything but go in there and read it, okay? And as soon as I'm done with this with this live stream, I will go in and actually, I will go in and, sorry, I really can't multitask. I will go in and upload the report there. It's a really powerful report because it's a really powerful time of year. And so it feels good to be doing this. So let me tell you all, okay, two things I want to tell you about. First, there is the new moon this coming Saturday. So the sun goes into Pisces. It went in last night at like 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. And now, so the sun is going to be in Pisces for the next 30 days, so until March 20th. And then the new moon enters into Pisces this Sunday. So you can start feeling the effects of the new moon usually about 1 or 2 days before the new moon actually rises. So starting tomorrow, you'll probably start to notice that you're becoming more intuitive, more psychic, more connected, more emotional, more tender, more romantic, more creative, lots of things, much softer. The energy is really soft. So, okay, 2 announcements I need to make. Number 1, I'm running this challenge on my website. It's called the Forgive Yourself and Reset Challenge. This is really important because forgiveness is the last stage of transformation. I'm going to be talking about this over the next 4 weeks, but what I need you to understand right now is that when you're holding resentment, pain, painful experiences, bitter emotions, sadness, grief, when you're holding those in your system through the process of unforgiving or unforgivingness, then you're basically holding your creativity hostage. You're holding your ability to manifest hostage. You can't move forward when you don't forgive. And forgiveness is systemic. It has to work on all four levels of your being. You cannot just say, oh, yeah, okay, you're forgiven. You can't just do it in your mind. You have to forgive in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, and you have to forgive at the level of the soul, where you are purifying, purging, and then letting your higher self come in and take over your entire system that the unforgivingness was holding you hostage. It's a very, very powerful transformational process that we go through. And what I'm going to be doing throughout this entire month of February is, in this challenge, I'm going to be taking you through healing the 12 sectors of your life. Talk about that later. Healing the 12 sectors of your life and applying this very powerful forgiveness strategy that I use, which is super powerful. It's super purging. It's really hard, but doing it while the sun is in Pisces is ideal because, and so now I'll start getting into the Pisces thing, but Pisces is really pliable. So Pisces represents the 12th house, or it governs the 12th house. It's the constellation of stars that represents the 12th house. This constellation of stars governs spirituality. It's like the doorway for spirit to walk down the levels into human form. So everybody has a 12th house because we're here on earth and we're surrounded by all this beautiful activity. And the 12th house is that particular door, right? So when the sun moves into that area, or yeah, when the sun moves into that location, what happens for us here on earth is we all become Piscean, right? So our doors inside our minds are all open and receptive. This is the beautiful thing about Pisces people. They're super receptive, they're super open. You can see it in their eyes. They're very beautiful people, very sparkly eyes. They listen intently. They're very passionate listeners. They're very heart oriented. And so, um, this, when the sun moves into this sector, we all become more Piscean. And what this does for all of us is it gives us a chance to heal all of the 12th house issues. Now, the thing that you have to understand about the 12th house issues is that they're really mysterious. And so it's challenging to talk about this, and it's also challenging to work on this stuff by yourself if you are not accustomed to doing a really intense healing practice, which is why I created the Forgive Yourself and Reset challenge. Now, it's a free challenge. You can find a link for it. If you're on Instagram, you can find a link for it in my bio. And if you're on YouTube, I need to post the link. I'm going to do that right now as we speak because you need to have that. And if you are already in the Jailbreak Your Heart program, you've gotten an email already um, that says that you are, sorry, copy. I'm telling you, multitasking. Forget about it. I don't multitask. Let's just make that clear. Not doing it. I don't multitask. All right, here we go. Boom. So if you're in the Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon program, then you've gotten an email with a link that invites you to sign up for the program. Love Her Production says, I'm in both. That's perfect, girl. That's perfecto. Because once we're done in the Forgive Yourself program, we're going back into Jailbreak Your Heart. So don't leave Jailbreak Your Heart. I just don't want to duplicate stuff for people who are in Jailbreak Your Heart. And, I don't want to duplicate stuff. It's too much. So I think it'll be easier if you just are in the two programs. And then and of course I'll tell you when March comes, we'll go back into Jailbreak Your Heart. So, so this is what I want to talk about right now. Actually, I want to talk a little bit about the 12 life sectors. Hold on, I got distracted because that's from yesterday. I wanted to talk about the 12 life sectors yesterday. I said I was going to make a video about the 12 life sectors and I didn't. And now it's coming back to haunt me. And I guess I'll just start from there because right now we have a tremendously open crown chakra and a tremendously open heart chakra. So our job right now is to use this openness to do two things: to heal and to create. So the healing part we need to do first, and we want to hit the healing hard early on so that the latter part of this period is much more about moving forward and easing ourselves back into the world. So what we're going to do during the first 2 weeks of this month is dive deep into our shadow self. We are going to look at limiting beliefs. We are going to look at old wounding. We're going to work with our inner child. We are going to look at things like old karmic, let's say karmic debt. We're going to look at potential curses. We're going to look at our ancestral crap that we've carried forth and hereditary junk, right? All these things that are kind of dark and negative, we need to deal with that stuff early on, because what happens is that we go from winter, February, into and Pisces into spring and Aries. And it is a big jump, right? It is a shocking jump, especially when you are really doing the healing work. So I want to remind you that astrology is a wheel, it's a circle. And right now, we're at the end of the astrological year. So what happens in Pisces is everything that you have not dealt with emotionally, spiritually, energetically, everything you've not taken responsibility for, everything you've ignored, all of your emotions that you've pushed aside, all those healing things that you weren't addressing are going to come up for you right now in this month to be handled so that you can start March 20th with a brand new, exciting slate, a clean slate. That's what we want. And that's why the program is called Forgive Yourself and Reset, because we're going to do a huge forgiveness thing, and then we're going to reset and make plans for this emergence. And we're going to ease ourselves back into this masculine, Aries, powerful, physical, sexual, vibrant, thinking, conquering, achieving, ambitious, outward energy. That's Aries though, man. That's Aries. And that's why it's going to be so fun. We want to have fun this spring. We want to have fun this spring, which is why we have to do this hard work right now. We have to dive deep. So In this challenge, the Forgive Yourself Challenge, we are going to be diving really deep into doing some dark healing stuff. And here's the deal about this challenge. We've got coaching sessions every single week. By the way, Love Her Productions, you know how we were doing coaching every 2 weeks before. We're doing them every week because number one, that's what I want for the program. And I didn't see where I had time to do it every week before. But as I was sitting with this, I realized that I can arrange my schedule and I'm able to get them in once a week. So now in the Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon program, you actually are going to be having coaching sessions every single week that you can join. Yeah, I know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And for the challenge, for people who are doing this challenge this month, they're going to be able to do the coaching too. Now, the coaching is going to be really important because doing it on a consistent basis, especially when you're doing this depth of work that I want to get us into, um, you need a lot of support because um, the shit's going to hit the fan. That's what it's supposed to do. So my job is to help you help you deal with the poop that's spinning and flying all over the place and you're going, ah, right? Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I wanted to pause. I want to pause and I want to just check in and see who's here. And I want to let you know that we're going to be doing readings today for you on Instagram and on YouTube. And you should post your question here in the comment section so that I can, when the time comes, do a reading for you for whatever it is you want to know about. Okay. All right. So that's kind of all I had to say about that. Okay. So, I want to talk about, let's see. So we have, the new moon. I have to talk about the new moon. So, because that's this Sunday and this is the live stream for. So, what is the new moon? So the new moon is it's funny. So the new moon happens once a month and it's opposite the full moon. So the new moon happens when the sun and the moon are in the same house, right? So the sun is in the 12th house and the moon is in the 12th house, or they're in the same sign, I should say. The sun is in the sign of Pisces and the moon is in the sign of Pisces, or it will be on the 23rd. So I'm going to talk to you about what to do with that energy of the new moon and the sun in Pisces for your ritual, because you're going to definitely be wanting to do a ritual around this new moon for sure. So the new moon, the moon is always feminine. It's always intuitive. It's feeling, it's sensual, it's tender, it's mother, it's home, it's love, pure feminine nurturing. That's the nature of the moon. So when the moon is new, however, she gets a little different. So normally the moon, we use it to kind of really focus on what's happening inside of us, our emotional self, our energy levels, the very esoteric parts of us. We use the moon to help support us in whatever rituals we're doing, in whatever we're to heal ourselves, to manifest, et cetera, et cetera. And normally you really want to keep that internal. But with the new moon, it's almost like you have the sun and the moon. It's like your mother and your father, um, the the masculine and the feminine working together, the inner and the outer coming together, going in the same direction to create something powerful. So during the new moon, we do a little bit of shadow work because we want to always work with our resistance. But the thing we really need to do with the new moon is think about what we want to manifest, what we desire, what excites us, what we want to create like a year from now. Okay. A year from now, What do we want to be doing? How do you want yourself to feel? What changes do you want to have change? What do you want to have happened inside of you? But also, what physical manifestations do you want to have changed? Do you want a new home? Do you want a new car? Do you want advancement in your career? Do you want to be finished with a certain set of goals? Do you want to have lost some weight? That's what you think about when you're working with the new moon. It's a magical time of creation. You have the sun, which is outward authority, and the moon, which is inward authority, working together to take you somewhere, okay, wherever you want to go. Now, what you do by knowing the sign, that tells you what life sector that the sun and the moon are working on, what they're highlighting. So, as I said 150 times, the sun and the new moon are in Pisces. And with them in Pisces, the life sector we're working on is your psyche, your unconscious self, your spirituality, your psychology, your emotions, your feeling nature, your intuition, your psychic abilities, your ability to connect with spirit, your ability to connect with your ancestors. Everything that has to do with the unseen world, the non physical world, the thing that lies beyond this illusion, this matrix, this hologram, this matrix. You want to, sorry, there's a cute little dog outside and just kind of ran into my field of vision. That's what we want to focus on is seeing how we can use the sun and the moon, the energy of those to create a new psychic connection, a deeper connection with spirit, a deeper connection to the unseen world, like empowering your intuition, deepening your connection to source, even deepening your connection to nature, but not through the physical. Sure, you can use the physical to connect, go hug a tree, but really moving beyond that tree as a tree and going to that tree as a pillar of energy, a vibration, a connecting at the heart, extending yourself, um, extending your being from the inside first, leading with your inside and letting the outside follow that. Okay, I hope that made sense. If you have questions, don't be afraid to write it down. Okay, be sure to write it down. Um, okay, right. So new moon. Here's what I'm going to be doing with this new moon. I have some very pressing healing things that have been bugging me big time. One is around finances. I am a six-figure life coach, but my six figures are feeling way too low. I want higher six figures. Now, notice that I'm not saying that I want seven figures, right? Because I don't yet. Not there yet. I am not yet a seven-figure coach. In a year or two, we'll talk about it. But right now, I like my six figures, but I want my six figures higher. I'm ready to move up into that level. Okay. Now, that's something that I know I want to manifest in the material world. Okay. That's one of my ambitions, three-dimensional ambitions. Okay. So, knowing that's what I want to achieve, a regular person who's not all into spirituality would be like, okay, well, what's your business plan? How much money do you have saved? What are you going to invest? Well, how are you going to spread your money out to make your investment grow? All these kinds of things are totally logical, rational things to do. And that's what I like to spend some time doing. However, as a spiritualist, I don't ever start with that. What I first do is I take that, let's say my goal for this year is $500,000, right? My goal is to earn $500,000. All right, wonderful goal. What I need to do is see how that feels in my body. So I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to say, $500,000, how's it feel? Hold on, give me a second to adjust so I can actually be authentic with you and show you this process. I can feel my energy rising. I like this 500,000. And I'm getting this kind of interesting thing where I keep saying 499 and it's kind of going 499,000, 499,000. That's what's showing up for me, like in this space right up in here. And I'm just kind of enjoying that. And it's kind of doing this flashing thing. And I'm like, okay, 499,000. Wait, hold on. Wait, wait, wait. 9 plus 9 is 18 plus 4. It's 22. 2020. See what I'm talking about? Spirit doesn't ever fuck around. I I see. Okay, so this is the process. I love this stuff, man. This is right on. I'm excited. I can't wait to see how this is going to manifest because like this is going to be really exciting. So that's the process, okay? So you sit, you think about your material goal, then you sit with it in your body, and then you just allow stuff to kind of come. You cannot drive this with your mind. If you drive it with your mind, you're going to be stuck in the 3D world. You don't want to be stuck in the 3D world because then you're limited by the illusion of the three-dimensional self. And that's fine to deal with the 3D. You have to, but you are not of the 3D, you're in the 3D. So you have to be like Neo and Morpheus and be outside the matrix, going in knowing the real truth of who you are. So you sit and you feel your energy. You see what your energy is telling you. If my energy, I went in and my energy was rising up, and then there's 499, 499 flashing in my eyes. I'm like, why 499? Why not 500,000? That's what I said. So what you have to do is see what the nature of the energy is and what the nature of the images are and how it's making you feel. All I know is that 499 and the colors that are kind of going off around it, that feels really exciting, right? And then using my brain, I'm like, wait, why 499? Okay. You can bring your brain into it, but you can't let your brain drive the whole thing, right? So the 499, I'm like the numerology, 4 plus 9 is 22. That's my magic number. And also, this is the 22 year. Oh my God, this is the year of home. Number 4 represents home. This is a huge, important number for me. Good to know, and good for me to know that this is the number that's going on my vision board. Now, what if I said $500,000 and the first feeling like that I got was dread? What if I felt like acid burning? I'm thinking about times that I felt like heavy, doubtful. My mind is doubting and it's dark. The images are coming, it's just dark, or I'm feeling nothing, or I'm feeling paralyzed. That tells you where you need to do work. It doesn't mean back down from it. It just means that you're not a vibrational match to the thing that you desire yet. So, what do you do when that happens? You pause and you listen to the spiritual guidance that says, hey, like, what's going on? Like, let me help you. Let me help you find that thing that you're looking for, you know? So, what we have to understand as divine beings of God having a human experience is that there are no no's for us, except the ones that exist in our mind. We're here to create and can create. We just have to learn how to work with our own limitations, how to, number one, listen. Right? When you have a limitation, you can't just bulldoze past it and act like it doesn't exist. You have to deal with the limitation that's put in front of you. But the way you deal with it is the important thing. Squashing it is not dealing with it. That's just squashing it and making it grow bigger later, especially when you don't want it to. So, no squashing, no bulldozing, no ignoring, no suppressing, no repressing, no denying how we feel and our negative feelings, our sadness, our doubt, none of that. We have to be really, really, really good parents to ourselves. And we have to listen with kindness, with compassion, and with a curiosity. We don't want to listen like, I know what you're about to say and I don't want to hear it. Nope, nope, nope. You have to listen like it's your first time listening, and you have to listen with your heart, and you have to be the leader for yourself. Okay. So, this is what I want you doing during this new moon phase, right? You're going to listen to what yourself make your goal, listen to what's happening in your body. How does your system feel about it? How do your spirit guides feel about it? How does your soul feel about it? See how you feel about it. If it's positive, then you go forward. If there's any kind of resistance, negativity, doubt, blah blah blah, you deal with it by listening, and then you have to have some coping strategies. Okay, not coping strategies, some healing strategies. So, look, my job is to teach you how to deal with this stuff. And this is what I'm going to be doing in the Forgive Yourself Challenge, which you can join for free for this month. And of course, in my Jailbreak Your Heart program, that's what we're doing every single month for a whole year for all the 12 sectors. It's a deep dive into profound healing. Now, what we have to do right now with this new moon is to nurture and listen to, wait, I want to say this different because I want to give you a little bit of a strategy. So here's the thing to understand about the new moon. You gotta really not get caught up in your fear and your doubt. You need to be mostly focused on what you want to manifest, and $499,000. That's what you need to be thinking about. I So what you have to do is figure out how to lovingly put aside, not put aside, wrong thing to say. You have to learn how to lovingly address all the negative doubts, fears, resistances you have to your goal, $499,000. Now, I Okay, so obviously in the program I'm going to teach you, but if you're not in the program, you don't have time for it, you don't know what to do, blah blah blah, for whatever reason you're not in the program. This is what I'm trying to figure out. This is why I'm having trouble moving forward. I'm like, why wouldn't you be in this program to actually learn how to do this and to actually get professional help with me? That would be I'm not even going to like say what that would be. But that's kind of like dopey. Like, get in the program. But if you're not going to be in the program and you want to figure out how to do something, okay, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Join the program and then then you'll know what to do, okay? Um but listening to yourself is a good start, all right? Listening to yourself and being a good friend to yourself. That's the easiest thing that you can possibly do, to nurture yourself during this new moon while you're trying to make goals. All right. Otherwise, get in the program. It's free. My goodness. Join the program. All right. Um, Now, just finishing up this process because I got to get on with our readings. Um, After you've moved past your resistance and you're feeling that energy of $499,000, right? What you want to do, because we're dealing with Pisces and the 12th house, is you want to kind of take that $499,000 and find the energetic vibrations of it inside yourself, in your heart and in your psyche. Yeah. So the way you can do that easily, just kind of lightly sitting down, is to, again, quiet your mind and allow more images and manifestations to reveal themselves to you. Now, in the program, I've got some very specific rituals and questions and things that I'm going to add, I'm going to take you through. But this, again, is just to give you a little demonstration of what you can do just within, just by sitting in your chair, just sitting and allowing this goal to talk to you from the inside out, showing you um, wonderful things like great great big visions and vistas and relationships, like just allowing this goal to talk to you from the inside out, not with you driving, but with your system, your soul just sending you everything that you need to know, and you just being like a Pisces, very receptive, being very receptive. Hmm. So nice. Um, I'm very excited. I had no idea that this was going to go down like this. So I'm just excited right now, like super excited. So I'm going to just peel that back and just enjoy that myself. So your job is to then, from that place of feeling really good, your job is to write things down and then start making plans. So once you've made a connection on the inside, then you can start making plans for it in the outside. And that's kind of a basic process of manifesting. Now, you all need to get in the program. I'm not talking more about how to use this new moon because it's all detailed for you. We've got the cycle of manifestation all written out for you in the program. So, yeah, join. Okay. Boom. That's all I have to say. I'm ready to start some readings and, excuse me, taking any questions that you all might have. So I know my first reading is coming from Love Her Productions. And she says, okay, she says, I would like my weekly reading, getting it in early. Today's question: how can I show up more to unlock my abundance and constant flow of money? What guidance is Spirit sending to me about my money flow? So she says, today's live is so on point for what I'm working on right now. Thanks, universe. Yeah, perfect. I get it. This is why we do this together, because we're working with the energy. And so it's great. It makes it easier for us to find those wonderful synchronicities. Okay, so let's see what's going on with Love Her Productions and money. This looks optimistic. What does Spirit want you to know about money? Ooh, this is so interesting. I love this card. It's the Nine of Wands. And this card represents an old, beat down warrior who is really battle scarred, but he's a really good warrior. But he's like all broken down, and he's like standing up behind some defenses, ready to fight, ready for the next obstacle. And it's a beautiful card because it's like he's an old warrior. We love old warriors, like he's got his staff and he's like ready to fight, but his arm is broken and he's limping. But he's like so dedicated to protecting the queen. It's really wonderful. The thing is, the problem with this guy is that he never relaxes. Like he never actually just kind of sits back and just allows stuff to just happen, and then he just dances with it, as it goes. He's always kind of like, I'm gonna stop you before it starts. I'm gonna stop it before it starts. I'm gonna cut this off at pass. I'm gonna do this. I'm protecting. And so she, she says, wow, that sounds like me, broken down but still fighting, right? Broken down but still fighting. But you need to understand that defensiveness really like zaps your energy. It takes away your energy. It makes you weaker. And the thing to also understand is that you don't have to be so protective of yourself and you don't have to be fighting. Like, what are you fighting? We're in a 4-year, that's a feminine number. We should be more allowing. And if you're doing all the fighting, what are your guardian angels doing? Like, you there fighting with them? But why? Because that's what they do. That's their job, to like protect you. Like, so the message from spirit is to stop fighting, to let down your defenses, and to be more open and receptive, Piscean, to the energy. Are you a Virgo? Remind me, are you a Virgo, darling? I think you're a Virgo. Virgo with a Cancer moon. Um, the key is to be more receptive and open right now, and feeling receiving, okay? More receiving of protection as opposed to being the protector. Yeah. Cancer, when you're trying to really protect you're trying to protect your heart, right? Okay. So yeah, I would definitely, I think spirit's message is for you to kind of relax and allow um to accept and allow more protection to come to you, and you can be letting your energy heal. This is a good time to do it, okay? um so remember, Love Her Productions, that what you want in the material world, you see it out there, right? So what I understand is that you want more abundance and a consistent flow of money to you. Okay, that's the material goal. Inside you, what does that mean? That's what you're going to need to figure out. How does that translate inside of you? Because then you need to make this inside a vibrational match to that. So that means, what that tells me is, you need to have a more consistent flow of energy to you, which you cannot do if you're in defensive mode. If you're like this, waiting for somebody to hit you, that is not the posture of receptive abundance, except for an abundance of fists flying at you. This is this is attracting more fists. Hey. Ah, okay. All right, sweetheart, I think you get it. Okay, let me hop on to Instagram and see if I have any questions over here. I've got some friends on. Hey, Lisa. Lisa, did you send me a question? I can't check if you sent me a question anywhere else, if you put a question not here in this thing. Because I can't check it while I'm live. So, Library Potential. Hey, Library Potential. Hey, Katie. Dr. Susan Lund, that cuts things off. Lilo Med. Okay. It's really hard. CB free are you? Okay, it's really hard for me to understand Instagram names because they're cut off and I can't ever remember. Like, if your name is not really literally what your name is, I'm going to be confused. I know Katie. I do know Library of Potential. Hi, lovelies. XOXO Amber Joy is all I see. Amber Joy. Oh, and Lisa does have a reading request. Okay, so she says, so much to work on with myself. Can you sense where I should start? What is glaringly popping up that I need to address? That's a good question. I like that question. I ask that question myself whenever I'm overwhelmed. I'll be like, Spirit, what? There's so much going on. What do you want me to start with? So let's see what Spirit says for Lisa. Spirit says, oh, so you have the Ten of Swords, which represents like unmerited hatred. And that's when somebody just like you're the victim of hate. And it's really sad, and I'm laughing about it because it's like real, and it's also sad because sometimes people who are supposed to love us, like, just don't, and it can happen in a moment, and it's just a psychic, energetic, it can be a moment of hatred, that's a vibrational match to us, so we take it on, we take it in, and it becomes a part of us. And so what happens when we take in the hatred of someone else, or it could even be, our own hatred from a past life. But whenever we're dealing with hatred, um, inner hatred, we it kind of really throws our system off. It's kind of like taking away your right arm and your left leg, and then like supposed to be able to like stand up and move forward with your life like you're a normal being. Like no wheelchair, just go ahead, figure it out, right? So the message for you, Lisa, is to understand the hatred that you have taken into your system, that you might be exerting upon yourself, against yourself, the parts of you that might hate yourself, the parts of you that might be really silent, like you don't know that you have a hateful part of yourself because it never says anything. But what it does is whenever, like, it just keeps its hand over your creativity. It never says anything. This is really scary, this hatred thing, because hatred is not loud, violent stuff. That's more like anger, right? And anger you can kind of relate to because you can see it. But hatred is silent, and it's connected to you don't deserve to live. And so it's really hard to find that within us, and a lot of people can't even relate to having that kind of thing inside them. They want to deny it because it's such a negative, bad, hard thing. Hatred is just so hard. And we're trained to kind of like not respond to it, like we don't want the hatred in us, so we deny it in us. And so when we comes to looking at it within ourselves, we're kind of like, we can't do that. We don't look at hatred. We don't hate ourselves, of course not. um, but actually, if you ignore it, you're in denial and you're missing out on a really great healing opportunity. So maybe consider, like, one, if you want to release something, you want to work on something, do an exploration to see where you are hating yourself and where you are stifling yourself because of this hatred. All right, darling. So I know you're probably going to not be on this because you're going to listen to the replay. So I don't expect to hear back from you. But if you do want to reply, go ahead and type in your message there, okay? All right, I'm going to hop on to YouTube, and I see Cora is here. Hey, Cora, are you still on? Okay, you say for me too, but I don't know what that means. So you want a reading, I bet, Cora, but you got to tell me what you want me to read for. Just tell me what your question is. Type it into the thing, and then I'll come back to you when you hi, Cora, I see you're there live. Go ahead and type in your question. And I'm going to just catch myself up here. I see Piali Das is also here. Hi. And she says, what's coming up in her love life? Okay, let me just finish up with Cora. Okay, so Cora says that what I said to Love Her Productions resonates with you. All right, awesome. Okay, so you didn't necessarily want a reading. Okay, but if you change your mind, Cora, type in specifically what you want me to look at, and I'm more than happy to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read for Piali Das. What is coming up for my love life? I'm excited about this question for whatever reason. I feel I feel something good is coming up. Ooh, I love this. This is the Three of Wands, and it represents like having planted some seeds and they're starting to bloom. And now you can start kind of like you've taken care of some business. And so now you should start looking out to see what else you want to do. You should start thinking about like how you want to expand your love life, and you should start taking some actions toward going toward your love. For me, that feels really affirmative, Piali Das, because that feels like you're on the road to something. I don't know if you're in a relationship or not, but it seems to me that something really good is on the horizon for you. I like this the card because it feels solid, and it feels like what you're doing is. Oh, sorry. Hmm. It feels like whatever you've done is a good, solid thing. You know how sometimes we do stuff for love and it's kind of lame? Like, I'm notorious for this. I'm talking about myself right here, right now. But for me, I used to try to change myself for a person, and I thought that a relationship was kind of like being in power. Sorry for the sneezing. I don't sneezing, and I don't have any tissue handy. All right, sorry guys. But anyway, yeah, so I would try to like um I was in power struggles with my partners all the time. I thought that love and romantic relationships were about winning, about having dominance over someone. And so it feels to me from this card that you're not doing that. It feels like you're actually it feels like you're actually moving towards something, like you've done something right, and you should start making decisions from having made good, right decisions. I hope that's helpful. You tell me, okay? You type in and let me know if that resonates with you at all, okay? All right. Okay. Um, XOXO Amber. Wait, and the pictures are also so small on Instagram, which is cracking me the heck up right now. This is one reason why friends were like, "Oh, I was on with you on Instagram, but you didn't act like you know me." And I'm like, because your name wasn't clearly like just you, and the picture is too small. I cannot see the pictures. But XOXO Amber says, "Hello, does the universe have a message for me? Just a message? Okay, let's see what it says." We're definitely going to give you one from this very pretty deck called Shadowscapes. Ooh, okay. So XOXO Amber, you've gotten the Tower, which a lot of people think this is a really bad card, but it's a really, really good card, and here's why. It represents total a total breakdown in your old belief systems and moving into a totally new belief system. It's like it's like this is the card you want to get right now. If I got this card every single week for the next 5 weeks, I would feel really, really, really blessed, because this card represents having a shift in your consciousness. And the reason people think it's kind of a bad card is because that kind of awakening kind of hurts. It it doesn't feel good because it's kind of like a rude awakening, like, oh, I think this is happening, and then all of a sudden, boink, and you're like, oh, that's not happening. I can't do that anymore. I'm a grown ass woman. I can no longer do that. I have to grow up. It's a wake up call. So your reading, XOXO Amber, is you are waking up, and You should enjoy the process. It might be hard, but Spirit is calling you to make a shift in your consciousness and to not be um to not be resistant. Don't resist the change that's coming. Spirit wants you to step into a bigger aspect of yourself, and you should do it, not fight it. Okay? All right, precious. That's your reading, and it's a good one. I know it's not going to be easy, but I hope you've enrolled in the program, because if you've not enrolled in the program, and I'm emphasizing enrolling in the program, then all right. All right, hopping back on YouTube. Cora says, I did your little exercise real quick where you got the 499 and I got 25, which is 7. What does that mean, do you think? Okay, so I got 25 and that's 7. What does it mean? Hold on, let me see. Let me just see if I can sink into it and see, Cora. Hmm. Cora, what is your life path number? Do you know? You need to take all the individual numbers of your birthday and then just add them all together, and then pop that in here. Um, Pop that in here and let me know what that number is, and then I'm going to come back to you, okay? And then I'll take a card when you tell me what your life path number is. Because what's coming to me with the 25 and the 7, there are a couple of things that are coming in. First of all, 25,000 is what came to my mind. And then when you said 7, the thing that keeps popping into my head is um Cora says she's a 4. Okay. So the thing that keeps popping in my head with the 7 is like being an administrator, being someone who really is great organizationally. Um And so maybe using that as a number to kind of think about yourself in terms of business, if you're thinking about manifesting work and things like that, thinking in terms of what kind of things how can you get more organized and more administratively solid, right? Getting your affairs in order, okay? That's what's coming into my mind. Now, you're saying that you're a life path number 4, so that means that this is your year. So another way you can look at this would be to kind of see, well, what um, maybe you can make yourself a 2-month goal, a 5-month goal, and a 7-month goal to see how you can advance something along that timeline. Oh man, sorry, guys, I'm running out of time on Instagram. Let me hop over on Instagram and finish up my readings there. I've got a couple of readings I need to do. Dr. Dr. Suzanne Lundgren, reading please and thank you. Unblock my procrastination, fear of being seen. Hey, you guys can come and find me on YouTube, by the way. On YouTube, what is my thing on YouTube? On YouTube, I am Crystalline Bell, right? Just come find me on YouTube and I can finish your readings up there. You can also watch the replay on my live stream page. And of course, if you're in the program, you'll see this in the program and I'll finish up your readings over here. But in order to do that, I have to know what the readings are. Okay, so hold on. Can you all please come over to YouTube? Because I have now 60 seconds left and I can't focus in 60 seconds because that's too much pressure. Who can focus under that kind of pressure? Not me. Okay, so sorry guys on Instagram, I'm signing off, but I'm going to finish up this reading for Dr. Susan Lundgren, Procrastination, Fear of Being Seen, Spirit Likeness, this upcoming new moon from Library of Potential. What spirit guides communicate with me and how can I converse with them? Hi, Sarah. Trying not to be there. Okay, I know I need to work on it. I'm here. Thanks so much. Any guidance from you, love? Okay, you all are going to definitely need to come and get me on YouTube. Yes, Dr. Susan says she's coming on YouTube. Yes, perfect. Everybody come on YouTube. That's it. Okay, signing off. Bye. Okay, now I'm back on YouTube. Boom. Let's see. And now, oh, share to story. Boom, done. So, all right. Um, so Dr. Susan said, talk to me about procrastination and a fear of being seen. So those two are coming together very strongly for me to say you procrastinate essentially because you don't want to be seen, right? That fear of not being fear of being seen. So let's see what Spirit wants to say about that for Dr. Susan Lundgren. Ooh, interesting. Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is the energy of resting, resting the mind, taking time to meditate and retreat. Now, here's the thing that's really interesting. I'm training women to be um, spiritual life coaches, right? So I have a coaching certification program. And two, it's just so uncanny. We did a session yesterday, and there were two of my students. One of them she's a coach, and she's putting together a program to deal with procrastination. And the other is putting together a program to help women become more magnificent, to help women basically who are dealing with a fear of being seen, which is a fear of magnificence, right? So I think it's just really funny. I was just talking to them last night, and here you are, sharing this same question again. So I want to give a shout out to those two women, um, Anne Hernandez, the Magnificence Queen, and Aset Mayat, who is our procrastination. Ha! I want to say stamp out. I'm like stamping my foot, but you can't hear it because I'm barefoot on carpet. She's stamping out procrastination. um, so, with that being said, whatever is inside you that is afraid of your magnificence, that's afraid of the responsibility of your magnificence, that's afraid of what you're going to lose or leave behind because you're magnificent and others are not. People have to recognize their magnificence. And the fact of the matter is that sometimes, like, relationships change when one person starts to step into their power and the other person is not, you know? So these are things I think that you probably should look at. Now, with this particular card that you've gotten, the Four of Swords, it kind of is a message that says you need to give your mind a break. Now, if you are stressed out, you're constantly behind the eight ball, you're in survival mode where, you're just always trying to get things done, and you don't have really the luxury of being able to relax into the present moment, that can really separate you from your magnificence. That can make you out of touch. It can put it off so that it feels distant and maybe intimidating, and maybe you feel like you don't earn it, like you can't own it. Now, I'm saying fear of magnificence, and I do know that you said a fear of being seen. For me, that is your magnificence, right? You being able to see yourself, other people being able to see you, that is the responsibility of magnificence. Magnificence can't hide because it's magnificent. It's a magnification of its own beauty, and it can't just be hidden away, right? So let me just tune in here and see what else this card might be telling me. Mm. Um, this has come up 3 times just in this conversation. I've not mentioned it, but I'm gonna mention it now. Um, there is a parable of Chiron, or is it Cryon? I'm sorry, I might be getting it wrong. I might be getting the name wrong. But anyway, it's about this. It's a parable about this dude, or these people who live in tar, and everybody walks around in tar. They're slow. It stinks, but they accept it. It's what they all do, right? So all of a sudden, you get a magic wand, and the wand cleans the tar off of you, and it makes the world cleaner for you. So you're kind of walking around, and everybody in tar is kind of looking at you going, why don't you have tar? Why are you moving around so freely? Why are you so magnificent? Right? So this is the story that keeps coming in. And I feel like this is a message for you that says you have to kind of let those people go. You can't just um, live to please them. And the procrastination mechanism might be there to help you stay one of them. So maybe spend some time um, being with yourself, like being with yourself, who you really are, being with your magic wand. Oh my God, sneezing again. Sorry, guys. Being with your magic wand that cleanses you, enjoying the gift that you have, and owning the fact that you have this gift and not caring. I mean, you can like care about people, but it's not that you have to feel guilty because you have a gift that other people don't have. Um, and that's something that you have to work out within your own psyche. But that's the responsibility that goes along with being magnificent. And this is why people don't want to be magnificent most of the time, because then they have to be dealing with being seen and people wanting to take what they have, and all these kinds of weird things come up. But that's responsibility that we need to take on. Like, hey, my responsibility is to be my magnificent self. Your responsibility is to deal with your jealousy of my magnificence, or whatever it is. I hope this makes sense. Am I making sense at all? Let's see. Magic Nomad. Yep, correct. Susan here. All right, great, Magic Nomad. You tell me if that's cute. Tell me if what I'm saying resonates, okay? And I'm going to go ahead. I see Library of Potential has hopped on. Hi, Library of Potential. Um, it's really resonating with you. The parable of I'm going to look it up. Come on, I can do this. The parable of Cryon. Wait, it's Chiron. Carol. Oh, Cryon. Lee Carroll's Cryon, not Chiron. Cryon. It's Kryon. And Cryon is a consciousness that Lee Carroll channels. Yes, I did not hang you up. That Lee Carroll channels. All right. Boom. Okay, there we go. I hope that's helpful for you. And you let me know, okay? All right. So, Library of Potential, please tell me. Library of Potential, tell me your question, sweetheart. Uh, I think you, because I started reading and I just couldn't remember what it says. So please type it in for me again. All right. Okay. Magic Nomad says, the other dude is the wounded healer. Exactly. Exactly. Right. This is the point. Exactly. And, you get to choose what role you play. There's this awesome meditation that my spiritual life coach gave to me like 10 years ago. And I'm going to record it and put it in the program, the Forgive Yourself and Reset challenge. I'm going to record it and put it in there for you all to do. But it's a really good exercise where you basically just come back to the truth of who you are. And you realize that the truth of who you are is just pure consciousness. Like there's nothing, and that's the truth of who we all are. So we all are one. But then, of course, we put on these different bodies, and sometimes we put on a body of tar, you know? And we're here and we're just going to live in this tar. And sometimes our life is just meant to be lived for 6 days as a body of tar. And sometimes we're meant to live for 116 years, evolving, traveling, doing whatever it is we do. Not one is not more right than the other. It's an experience. It's an expression of life. And the more we start to relax into that and stop kind of trying to um, put value judgments on what other people are doing and, even on ourselves, the easier it's going to be for us to just kind of relax and make the most of whatever we have, whether you're a tar person who never quite gets the magic wand, to have clear vision, or whether you don't have the magic wand to make $1 million a year. Like I'm saying, I don't have $1 million a year wand yet. Okay. I'm still working with my, $200,000 wand. And now Spirit is saying, hey, you need to up that up to, you know, 499,000. I'm like, oh, okay. So now I got to learn how to use that, $499,000 wand, clean out my ears, go in here, give my brain a good reaming, right? So the thing is to enjoy what you have and make the most of it, right? Okay, so Sarah Millie, hi. Okay, so I'm going to get to your reading. You're going to be my last one for the day. And I have Library of Potential who says, is there a specific way that spirit communicates with me? And how can I strengthen my ability to hear and discern their messages? Thank you. You know what's coming to me, Library of Potential? First thing that came to me is that you need to, along with spirit, establish a code. So, and I did this a long time ago. Like, I'm like, Spirit, whenever I feel this, I'm going to assume that that's what you mean. And whenever I feel this thing, then I'm going to assume that this is what you mean by that. And so that's how my relationship developed. And actually, when you're using tarot cards are a um, a library of codes that are speaking to both your subconscious mind as well as your conscious mind. Just like words are a code that we've all agreed on. If I say Fritzl, I just made that word up and I'm going up to you like, hey, Fritzl. And you're like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me. That's a valid point. Like it doesn't mean anything to you. So that would be the first thing that I want you to do, Emily, is to talk to spirit and to establish some kind of a coding system that feels good to you. Using your emotions as a code is really powerful. Like, when you're sitting down and you're doing like the emotional submersion process and you're feeling your emotions and you're feeling excitement, right? You can easily say, gosh, Spirit, I'm feeling excitement right now. This is an affirmative emotion for me. So you're kind of saying, Spirit, when I'm feeling excitement, that means that you're telling me yes, that's a yes, right? And so you use that as your code. And when you feel like acidy burning in your blood, like, you feel like that acidy thing, that's what keeps coming to me. When you feel that, it means it means danger, right? That feels dangerous to me. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. I'm out of my comfort zone, right? So establishing your codes that way. Now, here's a card that will give you some insight. Um, Library wants to say, is there a specific way that spirit communicates with me that she wants to know about exists already? What is spirit telling you? Like, how does spirit tell you? Memories of love, 6 of Cups. So, Emily, I have a feeling that your um, your communication um, codes started early on in your childhood. Let's just play with this a little bit. You can say that when you were 6 years old, you established a code of communication with spirit. And it has to do with light. So, Emily, what you can do is kind of use your eyes and look for spirit in light. So, I'm looking at my screen right now. I'm looking at myself on screen. And what I'm noticing over here is there's this L that's light. Does anybody else see how light this L is? It looks really hot, bright to me. That L is for library of potential. um, you see how this line right here is real dark? That shadow is dark. So this is a really powerful way that spirit communicates to us. And the more we focus on the light, the more we can see codes, right? I can see now this here is quite a shadow, and this is actually also very light here, right? Did that just change? No, it's just getting more intense though, isn't it? What's happening? What's happening? I don't know, something's happening. I see that that's my head right there. Anyway, so using light to receive messages is really powerful. No, that light is changing very rapidly. Wow. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Um, it is getting brighter, right? How funny is that? Spirit is totally communicating with us right now. I love it. I love it. Okay, so Emily, I hope that's actually helpful for you to kind of understand that messages can come to you through light, but you can also codify things. Like you can establish codes with spirit, and spirit is very practical, you know? You just have to be willing to surrender and to accept their feedback and use it and, keep trying because it's not always going to come instantaneously. Tarot cards are a great way also. Tarot cards, get yourself a deck, and practice with them regularly. I love them. Really great. All right, last reading is going to be for Sarah Millie, darling. I am so happy to see you. I was thinking about you because it's Sun in Pisces, and I know you're a Pisces. Let's see, beginner reading. Okay, Sarah Millie, what's the message for Sarah? Oh, you've gotten a really lovely card. It's the Ace of Coins, and it says prosperity begins. So, Sarah, I think that you also, like the lovely Piyali Das, um, Piyali's message was that she got the 3 of Wands, and her message was that what she has planted the seeds she has planted in the past are going to bear her really good fruit. Like she's doing things right where love is concerned. And so what she um, needs to do is to start thinking about the future. Well, for you, your reading is the Ace of Coins, and the message is that prosperity begins. And it's the idea that the Ace of Coins is the seed of an idea. And it's a good idea, it's a worthy idea. And so what you want to do is whatever is coming up for you, whatever creative inspiration you have, you should nurture it and plant it. And I'm sorry, plant it and nurture it, right? And understand that from what you're doing, more goodness is going to come. I know that you're going through some very difficult times right now. And that's really, it's hard what you're going through. And at the same time, you do have a tremendous capacity for love and a tremendous capacity for giving, right? For giving. And even though I do not believe in escaping, I don't ever want to encourage you to escape the responsibility of your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts. Um, a great way to escape is to be of service, and sometimes considering how you can be of service, even if it's just creating an idea for new business or thinking about what you want to manifest in the future, or volunteering, spending time with people, spending time with children, with animals. um, those kinds of things are very nurturing to your seeds of creativity, especially working with children and with pets, right? Animals. So that, I think, is going to be your reading for you to understand that you have tremendous potential. Um, and you're at the beginning of a new journey. So I want to encourage you to consider. Hold on one second, Sarah. Let me get really clear about this. I guess the thing that's coming through is about being creative and doing something with your creativity. That's what I'm saying, Sarah. That Spirit's message is you are a creative soul. Think about what it is you want to do. Play with that. And while you're grieving, while you're mourning, let your creative play be your company. I hope that makes sense. You give me some feedback, sweetheart, and tell me if I'm talking crazy, okay? All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up, lovelies. If you want to watch the replay of this, you can. You can catch the replay on this. Either you can watch the replay in our group, in the program, right? You can watch the replay in the program, the Forgive Yourself and Reset program, or you can watch it here on my live stream page. Boom. Okay. Um, all right, so that's there. And I want to make sure that you all have the Forgive Yourself link. Forgive Yourself enrollment link. Copy. Boom. Boom. That link is there as well. All right. So maybe Sarah, oh, there she is. She says, that's amazing. I am in tears. Thank you so much. Needed that so much. Love you and all of you. Oh, that's nice, darling. I'm so glad. Yeah, yeah. Yes, I have been thinking a lot about you. But anyway, that's a different thing. Not for yeah, YouTube stuff. But let's arrange to talk sometime. soon. Okay. Send me an email and let's do that this week. We can get on WhatsApp. All right, lovelies, we're going to go ahead and sign off. And thanks for joining. And I hope to see you in the program. And I look forward to it. We got to have us some fun up in here. Okay. See you, Magic Nomad. See you. And hey, you guys, remember to read the blog, right? The blog post. There's an Instagram link. It's on the crystallinbell.com blog. The sun in Pisces, it's there for you. All right. All right. Talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Bye.